Welcome everyone. And before we get started, I would like to take a moment to recognize we are on the ancestral and unceded homelands of the Hunkaminam and Skohomish speaking people, and to extend our appreciation for the opportunity to hold a meeting on this territory. And if you're not joining us from Burnaby, I encourage you to reflect on the ancestral and unceded territories you are joining us from. And welcome again to another Stride event. Thank you for joining us. Today's, it's officially the closing of the 4 sessions nature photography workshop that, that Rebecca Heyl hosted for the community. And we're gonna be able to enjoy some of the images that the participants were able to produce during this time that they spent together during these 4 sessions. So we're very excited about that. And later on, as I mentioned, we're gonna be doing just our final remarks for the festival. And I hope you stick around for that. We're gonna be thanking everybody that was involved in making these 2 weeks happen. And then later on at 8 o'clock, I hope you join the stream of our last event, the concert by the band Living Like Larry, and that's gonna be streamed on YouTube. The way to get there is to go to our website, We Are Burnaby, just click on the event and that will take you, click on the link and that will take you to the YouTube stream. And that's at 8 o'clock. So thank you again for joining, and I'm gonna go ahead and pass it to Rebecca.
Great. Hi, everybody. I just wanna, before we get started, thank the neighborhood house, the Stride organizers, and also all of you for coming today, and also the participants that were in the nature workshop. I was thinking of the quote from the movie Field of Dreams, "If you build it, they will come." And somehow that seemed to resonate. It's a 1989 film, so I'm dating myself here. But, you know, you guys built Stride and they came. And it was also the way that the workshop worked is that there were 4 sessions and people kept coming back, and they even had homework. So, and they came back with their homework. Their dog didn't eat their homework. But so that was really great, because then it becomes a dialogue and it becomes something that can be more than photography. You know, it's a way to build community. So anyway, I think it was a great success. And I just wanted to, I put together kind of a slideshow presentation, and I'll probably be pointing out a few things along the way. It's not a critique. It's not a, you know, it's not the way the classes went, but maybe just to go a little bit into some of the things we were covering in the class, maybe to give you like a little taste of it. Because maybe someday we'll do it again. Who knows? Anyway, so I will just bring that up on my screen, and then let's see, I think it should work. You guys seeing something? That's good. It's good news. Okay, so basically this went for 10 days. That's it. Or, you know, from the 17th to the 27th. We met 4 times, as we said. The first time we were kind of introducing it and talking about photography, doing a few tips. And everybody, I believe, worked with smartphones. That was the invitation. You know, you can do this with just a smartphone and getting out into the world. So each week, or not each week, each session, from then on, they had an assignment. And the first assignment was looking for patterns in nature. I find that's a way that helps people get close, and just having some kind of theme in the back of your mind kind of hones your eye into something as you're walking around. So let's get started. So I'm just gonna kind of go through them. Maybe some things will pop out to talk about. Oh, I guess what I liked is that these 2 were by different artists, but both had to do with tree bark, and also the way that the pattern is kind of diagonal, from one side of the frame to the opposite. They had some similarities. This one's I said this is an image that rewards you if you look more closely. Because the photographer actually took this into a stream, and this is the reflection that came back. And then she decided to orient it this way, right side up, or upside down, I should say, but it looks right side up because it's a reflection. So, but it takes a moment to really understand that. But if you look closely, you will notice it. So it's a reward. They were also invited to get closer and look for details. And also with your smartphone, you can actually, especially when you're getting in so close, you can press on certain areas. If you want a certain area of the picture in focus, you can kind of press on that, and that part will come into focus. So when you have that little tip, it allows you to play around with that function. I put this one in because I like the idea that it's getting really close, but we also hear in the background, we have a car, if you look closely. And the idea that nature is everywhere. It's not just in national parks, but it's all around us, especially here in Burnaby. We're really lucky to have a lot of green space. This one looks like kind of magic to me. Hard to figure out. I think from the next picture, you'll see what it's like. I think this was done on the portrait mode on an iPhone, which really blurs out the background. But here it makes it, they're almost hovering, which I'd never seen anything quite like this. But these are the same berries. I also like this because it shows, people, we are part of nature. We're not separate entities, right? We talked a lot about perspective, and this image kind of offered a really unique perspective of looking at a fern, almost like an ant's eye view, which I really appreciated. This is another one. You could imagine a little ant there. But yeah, getting close. What happens when we start looking closely? Well, one thing that happens is you start noticing how things grow. So this is similar to the other picture, but it's two photographers that were out together. And when I would see their work, I would say, wow, they work so similar. And then later I found out that they were out shooting together, which was kind of fun because they were never the same, but they were just similar. Hang on for a sec. There we go. We did talk a lot about framing, how to, what's around the edges of your image and how that keeps the viewer's eye within the image. So here, the photographer's done a really nice job of most of the images, framed by these trees and branches, but then we have this kind of openness at the top, which is really lovely. And that also that stripe across kind of gets us to go back around and around the image more than once. So this photographer, I don't think was able to get out the first week or the first, it was pretty quick turnaround times. Maybe they had 3 days to photograph and send the pictures back, 2-3 days. And she wasn't able to get out, but she, photographed the nature right in her apartment, which was really clever. So here, the growth patterns those are always really interesting to me. And also for math people, the Fibonacci sequence. Grant might appreciate that if he's listening. Yeah, this is another inside shot. Starting to notice all the details, right? And I wasn't sure what winter would offer in this workshop because, the growing is kind of hibernating. So it's actually an interesting time to capture things in this slowed down, kind of like we're all a little bit slowed down during the winter, right? And so nature also is taking a break, maybe. One thing we talked about is when it snows or there's frost, how it delineates all these edges so nicely and allows us to see things with more clarity. And this, for this photographer, this is on her commute to work. So she started taking pictures on her way to work and her way home, which was quite interesting. So the next subject we brought up was light and shadow. And this is one of my favorites. I like to tell people, without light, we wouldn't really have a photograph. Of course, you could say we could have infrared and there are other kinds of possibilities, but for the most part, you need light is really the essence of photography. So this is something I share a lot. And it's a way to kind of, well, just to break down the word photography. If we think of photo as meaning light, it comes from Greek, and graphy as something like drawing. If we could think about photography as drawing with light, it perhaps would take on a more poetic feeling. Because I think we've all become so used to the mechanics of snapping pictures, but how could we slow down and think about photography in a slower way? Maybe the way it was done in dark rooms, at one time when light was really essential, and chemistry. And then I like to work with visual metaphors. So we have a little visual metaphor coming up. Ooh, should be here, yeah. So this is a picture from Life magazine from 1949. And it's Picasso drawing with a flashlight, drawing with some kind of light, and making a Picasso looking drawing. Go figure. But, what would that look like, drawing with light? If people got to see some of Grant Withers' work, he does a lot of work that really feels like that essence of drawing with light. So you've got big shoes to fill. No, I'm just kidding, Grant. Anyway, so let's move on to the participants' work with light and shadow. So this is really similar to the other picture we just saw. I'll just snap up there really quick. Different days, and I think this is in the morning, and then this shot was on the way home. And just how when you start thinking about light, you start noticing different things. And so a few of the participants actually started noticing things from behind and from the front. And so this is backlit. It's partially the light is really coming from the back, and it creates these wonderful highlights. And there should be a few more similar to this. Oh, that's an empty one. Freebie. This is, we had one participant coming from Victoria, which was fun because we got to see different types of landscapes. And I thought this was a great idea, to combine the natural and the human built. And, the clouds are really lovely. And then we have this zigzag of lights that we can follow all the way down the picture. I don't want to talk about every picture, so I got to hold back. This was also from Victoria, as is this one. So part of their invitation for this exercise, let's say, was to pay attention to light at different times of day. What does light do? How does it change during the day? And we did actually that week have a lot of sun, which was fortuitous. So yeah, so this is, I believe it's morning light. There's still the frost. So getting the details, here we have that example. I don't think I have anyway, the top bit is backlit. You can see a little lights coming from underneath on the top bit, which creates all kinds of interesting shapes, I guess. Also this for light and shadow. You know, I believe this is at Confederation, so we've all probably walked by there. But, you know, when you're looking for light and shadow, you can start seeing things with a different perspective. Also, this one is that backlit. So the shadow is at the bottom, and then the grass, I guess, is so illuminated. I think we have that participant here today. And here's from the other side. I think the same patch of grass, actually. This one also has a little bit of that backlit at the top, well, the bottom part of the leaf, but the part that's going upward, facing upward, you can see a little bit of shadow underneath. But you can see people are starting to get really close. So this is where it started to get interesting, you know, abstract, like pictures became something other than straight pictures. And they become more than just a photograph, right? I believe this was Margaret's, but I don't know if it makes sense explaining it all, because I think it's lovely just the way it is. And sometimes not knowing how it's made is okay too. You know, we don't always have to understand how a photograph was made or even the intention. It's really about how does the photograph make you feel. This was another one that was kind of got a little bit abstract as well, but we still can recognize it. But the way the light was pouring through was really special. Okay. So this is a great shot for the decisive moment, you know, getting the bird open winged like that. So I know the photographer said she spent a lot of time, but she also selected a really lovely spot. So some of it is, you know, finding a good scene and then waiting for something to happen and being patient. So another great example of the framing, a frame within a frame, and how that can bring together an image. Yeah, this one was one that dazzled me a bit. The movement and the sun. I guess we're all sun deprived. So anything with sun is exciting. But yeah, I thought what was really special about that is the movement that's captured within this image. And this one was, I thought, really fun as well. And also mixing the natural phenomena, shadows, in this case, with the staircase, you know, a cement staircase, concrete staircase. But I'm sure we'll all look at those shadows differently now that we've seen something where they intersect like that. I thought that was quite clever. It also becomes very much about movement, right? How does a shadow go down a set of stairs? Here's another one, pretty similar. I mean, not similar, but similar ideas. And I love that blue. I'm blue dependent, so. And then this one you might recognize from Burnaby Heights, one of the murals, right? Yeah. Was this one of the murals with music? No, no. Okay. I looked for it actually. I went back and I was like, where's the QR code? So, but this is on Gilmore and Hastings. Okay, so now we're into the third and final assignment. And this was balance and peace. So we've started with things that were quite tangible, like the patterns, something specific to look for, or light and shadow. And then we started going into things that are a bit more conceptual, which becomes more difficult. And it's more of an inquiry. And, you know, I think there were 2 or 3 days to shoot the pictures. So it's more of something that people can start thinking about. And then you might start feeling that, you know, might find other places where you can capture that as well. So let's see what they found. So I think this is in New Westminster at Queen's Park, from what I understand. So yeah, when I saw this, I wanted to go there. And you'll see, if as you guys look through them, if there's certain common things that people put with this idea of peace or balance. And this is the last one that you might recognize. Some people, yeah, it's a good one. I think this was done for balance, I think, or peace. I'm not sure, or the combination. That was part of the reason that there were 2 kind of topics or concepts to see, are balance and peace related, or you know, how do you capture an idea in a photograph? And it's not easy, but I think we have a lot of great pictures that came out of it. So yeah, and I think I can put this out to you. Do you see anything that unites the pictures, or some of the pictures? I'll go back through them. So for me, I don't know if people are talking in the chat. I'm not paying attention to it. But for me, you know, the sense of mood, you know, these places, like, they really bring a sense of mood, and like, oh, I'd love to go to this place. And also light. It seems that light is a big factor, and this kind of hazy fog, which also I think, you know, is part of the creating mood. But it almost like the godlike light. Even in this one, it almost feels like that light in the back of 18th, 19th century paintings, you know, very dramatic. So, and this, you know, the kind of otherworldliness to it, even though we've all been in forests probably like this. This, I believe, is Burnaby Lake. So, but we still have that mist. Yeah, it seems like light and mist are the ones, and the kind of flares are things that, or, you know, this is just about scale and just a really well composed picture. and I guess how placid the water is really peaceful. Yeah, water's another one that it seems that people gravitate towards water when they think about peace. And of course, I think this was taken around Confederation, so the lovely mountains that we can see so close by. And this was definitely taken at Confederation. Oh, this, no? Oh, really? Uh-oh.
It's McGill Park.
Oh, okay. Well, I kind of think of them as the same place. Yeah. This was a piece that was part of the Stride Festival. Is it still up or it's down already?
It's still up.
Still up. Just seconds left.
A second left. We will be rushing to take it down at midnight.
There you go. So last chance. Okay, and here's a list of the folks that were submitting photos. We also had a bunch of people that were kind of watching, which was kind of nice too, participating in some way. And I wanted to thank them for sure. All the people that participated and kept coming back. And thanks again to the Stride Festival, Burnaby Neighborhood House, and also the Vancouver Foundation for Community Grants that provided a small grant for this program. Is there anyone that wanted to say anything? Look, Sharon, you look like you might want to say something.
You have to unmute, Sharon.
Yeah, I was just typing that it was a great workshop, and thank you very much, Rebecca. It was really fun. I've really never done photography before, but it was a thing to.
Great. Yeah, thanks. I'm glad that you could be there and enjoy it. Here, I will stop sharing the screen. I think I wanted to just touch quickly on the fact that we were going to have the cyanotype workshop this morning, but it was postponed to a future time, sometime in the spring, we hope, just to be safe, because it was an in-person kind of event, and we didn't want to, we wanted to stick close to Bonnie Henry's words and only do essential in-person stuff. So anyway, we canceled that, but if anyone has any questions about that, I can, not when we're going to have it, but we're hoping to have it maybe in May outside. We'll see how that works. And I guess the neighborhood house will keep us abreast about it. Right. Great.
Can I make a comment?
Yeah.
I had the pleasure of joining Rebecca during her last session. I ran technical support and watched the chat window for the peace and balance session. And I said then, and I think I've even said it in the chat window now, that the themes that Rebecca gave to her students or fellow photographers were, I think, as a fellow photographer myself, great challenges. It's easy to hand out purely compositional and sort of technical challenges as homework, but she intermixed some really neat sort of conceptual challenges in there as well to get people thinking about and making their images very personal. Because if you ask someone to take pictures of stairs or repetitive patterns and things like that, which can be very visually engaging, there's not a lot of the artist's soul that's in that image. But when you ask a photographer or any artist to express peace or balance, then things get really interesting. And I think that was expressed by these photographers. So in a novice group, I believe it was called, you had some high-level opportunities to grow and learn there. So you're, as I said before as well, you're in great hands with Rebecca, and you guys came up with some really neat stuff.
Thanks, Grant. Thanks so much. Maybe to tag on to that, we had the art education panel the other night, and one thing that came up was, what is art, and the idea that art isn't just drawing or painting, but art isn't about drawing, it's about ideas. So kind of going into that, getting people to think through photography, think about peace through a medium of photography rather than just thinking about the image itself, but thinking about feelings. And that, I think that's when you can go deeper, right? And have deeper dialogues, because we could talk about technical stuff, and technical stuff is important to an extent, but ideas and concepts and photography as a language is really important. So I'm really glad that you guys came, and it's great to show the work to everybody. And I think, unless there's any pressing questions, I can hand it back to Grant and Junwen.
Thank you. Thank you, Rebecca. I also gonna say that I was so glad that Rebecca came on board on Stride, because I knew she was gonna be like a perfect fit for what we wanted to do here, as far as like showing different perspectives and showing people how art is about ideas and, not so much about the technicality of it. And I was just so glad that she said yes when I proposed it to her to be part of it, and that she wanted to share her skills and did the workshop, because it was really enhanced at the festival a lot. So thank you, Rebecca. Thank you for doing that.
Thanks so much.
Here, here.
Thank you.
So now we are, we're just gonna, do a little bit of thank yous and just kind of closing what has been, to me, an amazing 2 weeks. I'm not gonna lie, I am a bit physically tired, but emotionally, I'm so pumped about what we were able to accomplish for these 2 weeks. Very, very proud, super proud of not only the organizing committee and the neighborhood house, obviously, that supported us, like Subi, that is amazing, Simone, that, just kind of trust us with all of this and went along, and Nadia, that also, went around and tried to get us those venues where we kept pushing, even though they were not responding, and we kept pushing and said, Nadia, just get us 6, please. And she kept going until she got us more than 6. So it was just, and then the community that, as Rebecca mentioned in the beginning, we built it and we didn't know what was going to happen, but we built it and they came. And everybody came and they showed up to all the workshops and to the events. And everybody has been also pouring a lot of great comments and encouraging words and sharing their experience with us, and how they have been able to connect with all these different programs that we put together for these 2 weeks. So I thank everybody that was in the organizing committee and participated and helped put this together, and I thank everybody that came and was part of it. So I thank everybody very much, and I'm gonna pass it to Grant, that is gonna actually mention names, I think.
Yes, he will. It's really kind of hard to believe that it's over. I've said before that I hope that there's an echo or ripple effect that this event creates. I don't think the kind of the love and sharing and community that has been created by this event is going to end at midnight tonight. I sure hope it doesn't. And I've seen connections and met new people, so I know it's going to carry on for me. But I do want to take a moment to name some names, people who have been integral to this. I guess as I'm on Spotlight, you can see some our sponsors and our financial sponsors and our community partners. Before, I mean, it's not. I know I won't forget because I have it written down, but it's nice and big there. The We Are Burnaby team. For those of you who don't know, We Are Burnaby and the Stride Festival kind of started around the same time as ideas behind the scenes, and We Are Burnaby is another organization that is affiliated with or it's sponsored by the North Burnaby Neighborhood House, and we've been working really closely with Chantal and Ariel from We Are Burnaby, and I really encourage you guys to check them out. They have become our home online for our website, partly because of the stories and the connections and the resilience that is all around art, because We Are Burnaby is an online magazine, an online hub for stories of resilience and stories of connections and community. And I know they are eager to hear your experiences and hear about the friends you've made or the history that art, how art has affected your life. But so yeah, do check out We Are Burnaby, and they're looking to build stories and tell the stories and share the stories of Burnaby residents. I'm going to mention the names of the merchants who helped us out with our art displays. We have Oxmoor Market, the Heights Merchants Association, Cedar Chiropractic and Physiotherapy, G&F Financial Group, Fortuna Bakery, Cafe Artigiano, Don Osso's Restaurant, McGill Public Library, Adele Ray Florist, and one of our favorite places in the Heights, the Burnaby Neighborhood House, the North Burnaby Neighborhood House, at the far east end of the Stride Zone. So those places are where you would have seen the physical art on display, our visual art, and that's all coming down in the next, within the next couple of hours or over the weekend. So we've had a really good run of seeing those. And I'm hoping you can see, well, I'll say them anyways. Our financial sponsors were Simon Fraser University, Explore Burnaby, Burnaby Now, and Van City. And some of the support that they offered was through sort of in-kind donations and actual finances to help us with our costs for the event. And our community partners, again, We Are Burnaby, we have the Burnaby Board of Trade, and another great group, the Heights Neighborhood Association. They've been all very helpful in making this happen. One merchant who didn't get on this list as an exhibition partner was Reliance Insurance Group. I believe that's their full name. Anyone who attended the NB24 video drive-in would have been parked in their wonderful covered drive-in parking lot. They've actually said that they'd be interested in doing other presentations like that in the future, so you may be invited back to them. And they came on board really last minute and cooperated with us on getting that drive-in set up. So that was awesome. Junwen, am I missing anyone? You briefly mentioned some of our team members. So we had our art committee with Stride. We had Junwen and myself as co-chairs. We worked closely with Carolyn Sullivan as well on the arts committee, planning what kind of things we wanted to do over the last few months. And in the sort of more that we call the planning committee, that was really Nadia DeSpirito, and I believe she's here this evening as well. So big thanks to you, Nadia. And Simone Brandel and Suvi, I know you're in our meeting tonight too. Again, we couldn't do it without Suvi's very hard work. She's had her fingers and her mind and heart in every little corner of this event. So she's been a big part of that as well. We've been advocating that she get some time off after Stride, and I'm pretty sure Simone is listening. I don't know if Simone will be, if Suvi will be able to actually take time off. I don't know if she does that.
I don't think she's going to do that. I'm sorry, but even if she gets offered the time off, I offer her many times that, Subi, don't worry, you can take the night off, and she's still joining and she still work. So
yeah, she is a power. And I also wanted to thank the Burnaby Photographic Society for helping us out with the festival too. They played a bit of a role over the 2 weeks as well. So it's nice to have some more community groups helping us out. Okay, now, have I forgotten anybody?
Well, I can just
Sharon.
mention, sorry.
Sharon.
Yes, yes, thank you. Sharon Ramsey, who I believe is here tonight, an NB24 filmmaker, another wonderful community spirit and art supporter. She has been part of our arts committee as well, and gave us lots of inspiration, was part of a lot of our meetings making this happen. So thanks for the reminder about that. And sorry, Sharon, I forgot to have your name on my list. Yeah, you're awesome. And there are a lot of faces I see in my gallery view right now, members of the community who have been really supportive fans of our online presentations. I see your faces every time I show up. You're there as well. Aggie, I see you're one of them right there. You and I have been involved on online programming in the past too, so it's nice to see you still being artful with us tonight. And I know Jinwen has recognized and met a lot of people through our presentations as well. So yes, it's a night of thanks and a bit of an exhale, and I honestly think that Burnaby's history has changed a little bit because of Stride, and I'm super proud to have played a role in that. And we couldn't have done it without you guys. All of our viewers and participants and contributors to the event. So well done, Burnaby. Well done, Burnaby Heights.
Yes, well done. So Simone, do you want to say something? Just something really quick. Simone is here, and Simone is, I think all of you know her, but she's the programs director of North Burnaby Neighborhood House. And obviously without Simone just saying yes to this and let's do this, and just kind of like, we kept coming back and saying, oh, Simone, can you ask the city if we can hang some frames from the trees? Like, that's not an easy ask. Can you ask Reliance if we can use their parking lot? And can you ask if we can put, QR codes here and there? And everything we asked, Simone kept saying, okay, I'll ask. And she went and she asked, and then she'll text us, okay, they say yes. And we're like, oh my God, like, so awesome. So without Simone, this would have been like really nothing. So Simone, please say a few words.
Just really quick. I just want to congratulate everybody. This has been so successful. From my perspective, building community through art is always one of the best examples I have of how people connect. And so I asked Suvi if she could give me the total participants that just did the art crawl or the Strides workshops, just the online stuff. And at this point, there's 470 people that participated in just the art stuff online. That is not including, the 30 or 40 people that came to the drive-in. And what I understand, I know, right? That's just, no, but that's not even enough, Grant. When you look at the numbers that come from each of the storefronts, we have to include those. And I talked to Fortuna, and they were saying that people coming in were actually stopping at the storefront, and they were looking at the paintings and the artwork that was in the windows before they were going in. So, I know at the neighborhood house, we don't have that kind of traffic, but I myself counted about 40 people, and I'm only there a few days a week. So I'm estimating that probably we have over 1,000 people who participated this year in this event. And so for me, that's massive in terms of connecting people to the beauty of art and connecting people to each other through their love of it. And so for me, this makes it totally successful. And so I say congratulations, because this event would not have happened without the Art Crawl Committee. And I don't know if people know this is a volunteer position. Every single hour that Grant, June Wynn, Nadia, Carolyn, all of the people that participated, Sharon, anybody that helped organize this, it was $0. This was done from their hearts for their community. And so I want you to just think about that. That means that all of these events were done with hundreds of hours at zero pay. They did it because they believe in community and they love to share their love of art. And so I just want to thank you guys. This couldn't have been done without you guys. So that's all I have to say.
Simone, I wanted to, and thank you for all your support and trust. Jinwen mentioned a lot of the the people at the city and the different businesses to whom you reached out, and they all said yes. Almost every time you reached out to them. My note to everyone else is that Simone attracts good people. People like me. No, I'm happy to be included in that group of people that are surrounding Simone and doing the things that we believe in the things she's doing, and I think that's why she has so much trust, and people really believe in what she's doing in the community. The North Burnaby Neighborhood House is a fantastic place and a fantastic entity, and Simone is I don't think she'd ever say that she's the leader of that or she's the boss of that, but she recognizes when connections are needed, and she recognizes when people need things and when our neighborhood is needy, all those things. And she is wonderful at pulling those things together and making this neighborhood amazing. So yeah, I'm really happy to be at your side, Simone, doing what you do.
Yes, same here.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, for sure. Thank you, Simone.
Big group hug.
I was going to say a lot of love in this. A lot of love.
Yes, a lot of love for sure. And one more time, I think I just want to recognize the artists that are here that participated. Dorothy, who display art. Thank you, Dorothy. And Marilyn, who was part of the very, very successful kitchen Celtic party, who was extremely successful. We got emails from all around the world saying, when are you doing this again? So thank you, Marilyn, for that. And please extend our thanks to Dave and obviously Lead and Rob and Carrie and Ron and Philomena that was part of that. And Caroline, obviously part of the committee, arts committee, and as well the photography, mindful art talks that she organized, and she had me and Grant as guests yesterday, and it was lovely to be there and to be able to share some of that. So thank you, Caroline, and Rebecca, obviously with the photography, nature photography workshops. Thank you so much. And Sharon for hosting our opening and just being there and with all your always amazing energy and creativity as well, and being part of the MB24 filmmaking team. Awesome. And Bill Thompson, who also had display at the Oxmoor Market. Thank you, Bill, for that. Thank you so much. And of course, Nadia for being part of the organizing committee and going around and getting us those business. And so thank you very much to everyone, and of course everybody else that we thank everybody else that was involved. I think there was a question around whether some of the things are going to be posting on the website. We don't know at this point. The MB24 film is going to be posted on the website. We have to check with the artist about the soundtracks of the murals, and I'm not sure. I think we have to discuss a little bit about some of the stuff that we'll be able to share on the website. But definitely we learn a lot from these. At this point, I think Simone is extremely committed to have it again next year. I don't know how we
hopefully with some funding that will help pay for the artists. Yeah.
But if we do this again, I think we did a ton of learning, and obviously a lot of things that we are excited to to, improve on and do things better. And so we'll consider all these things. So thank you, everyone, for all of that, for all the great comments.
Burnaby rocks.
Yes.
We're the envy of our neighbors, and we have a global presence now. People are watching.
Yes, for
They
sure.
want to figure out what's the special sauce around here. What's the secret sauce?
Yes. So thank you, everyone. And I hope you join the streaming for the Living Like Larry concert at 8 o'clock. As I said, you go to our website, go to events, go to the calendar, click on the Living Like Larry, link, and that will take you to the YouTube streaming. And you can enjoy some, I believe, dancing music, and it's more of a celebratory kind of performance. And we hope you enjoy. It's a bit of a technical magic that is going to happen. Everybody's going to be playing live, but then it's going to get mixed together before it gets streamed to the YouTube. So that's going to be very interesting to watch. And we thank Jim Wolf for being our contact there, Caroline's partner, and he put the band together, and they're gonna be playing for us as our closing event. So a great way to close. Amazing 2 weeks.
We'll be dancing together tonight, you guys.
Yes.
And stay artful out there, stay creative, and you haven't heard the last of us, so.
Yes. And I think I hope these 2 weeks kind of like some of the energy and the good vibes that we were able to build kind of carry you through the rest of the year that is still, challenging ahead of us. So yeah, hopefully that's what we were able to do with this. Thanks.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great night, and we'll watch for you in the neighborhood. Good night.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Take
Thank
care.
you. Thank you.